Hey, welcome to snonkcast, hopefully episode 4, where we talk about piss, shit, and cum.
And how much
Nolan
sucks.
How much we hate
Nolan.
No, let's not make the whole thing about him.
Well, not the whole thing, but I think the first,
That'd be kinda
50
funny.
minutes out of an hour.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of funny. Let's do a 3-hour feature-length podcast about how much
Nolan
sucks.
And he sucks a lot. Man fucking loves dick.
Yeah, he does.
And there's nothing wrong about it. I just wish he wouldn't do it in front of us all the time.
Yeah, like, we're trying to watch Here Comes the Boom. Get the dick out your mouth. Like, what the fuck, dude?
He's always like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom, but then you hear those weird gargling noises.
Yeah, and you're like,
you
who's
know what
that
he's
weird
doing.
man in there with you?
Yeah,
man?
well, it's
what the fuck?
Like, we're sitting there watching Here Comes the Boom, and then, like, fucking leaves for 15 minutes, and I'm like, oh, he's taking a long shit. And then the door opens, and someone else walks out of the bathroom.
Yeah, and he comes out like 10 minutes later.
He's got his
and
fucking
just
lipstick
sloppy.
all smeared.
Yeah.
Fix
Fix your makeup before you come out, at least. Like, come on.
Like, it's like he's trying to fight. Like, he's not trying to hide the fact that he was just downing this dude's glizzy.
Why doesn't he just use the shed for the glizzy goblin?
I don't get it either. He doesn't use it.
Yeah, like, he's got a TV in there. They could watch, like, weird old vintage porn
They
on
could
VHS
watch Spider-Man
tapes.
on VHS.
That's
while
true.
he
They
fucking-
could just watch Spider-Man.
While he sees how many glizzies he could gobble in an hour.
I bet
Either
it's
way,
not many.
After watching Here Comes the Boom, I changed my opinion. That movie
It was
pretty
great.
good.
It was good. Like,
Pretty good movie.
also, I liked how much convincing it took just to have
Nolan.
replay the motorcycle scene. And also, I like that he was like, we're starting it with or without you, Noah and Nolan, despite us being like, we're not going to be there until after 7 at some point. We never said when.
Here was the thing, right? I understood his frustration because Nolan was like, we need to watch it that Friday. And I know it's not his fault that he was there late, but it's like he was sitting there screaming at Nolan about it
Well,
and then didn't show up until 7. And it's like...
well, we prefaced like 4 days ago that we weren't going to be there.
I
in
just
time.
think the right move would have been to not watch it that week.
Well-
But then Nolan was like, I still want to watch it.
Nolan.
But last week, before all of the things with Nolan and I happened, whatever,
Nolan.
we did say we would watch it this week.
Yeah.
Then stuff happened, and that's when the plan had to change.
You're
We
expecting
Nolan.
to remember anything, or any of us.
Yeah, every time I walk in
Nolan.
his house, he's like, "Get out! Who
Who
are
are
you?"
Well, I mean, he's been getting fucking dementia lately.
Hasn't he been having dementia?
Yeah.
It's been a long time, and I can't say I know of him remembering anything ever.
Well, it's because
He
of his
tends to be
drinking
wrong
problems.
about most things.
Yeah,
It's because of his drinking.
Yeah, he's quite the alcoholic.
his drinking of cock.
Well,
Just
Maybe.
chugs them by the gallon.
There's too much cummies for him to think correctly.
no, like, that was the whole reason he wanted to get a fucking place with a shed and a garage.
So you
But
have a
just
place
for-
to gobble.
No, just cum storage. Because he doesn't swallow it. He spits it into
Oh,
a jug.
he saves it for later.
Yeah, he spits it into a jug. And, like, he says he's saving it, but, like, he never opens them. He just keeps collecting gallons of cum.
Maybe he's got some like great artwork that he's working on, and he just needs a lot of cum.
There's no way a man would need fucking 10 tons of cum.
I bet he's just making like homemade moonshine.
Out of
Out of
cum?
cum?
Yeah, letting all the sugars.
tasting cum and moonshine.
That's why he's always drunk. He's just fucking drinking fermented cum.
Ew. I feel like cum just spoils. I don't think it would.
Well, it spoils, and the fucking, like, fumes made from that get you drunk.
He just huffs the fumes.
Yeah, he's just
Oh,
huffing.
like jinkum. Do you know what jinkum is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just fucking huffing fermented cum.
Huh. No
And that's what's
wonder-
causing his fucking memory issues.
Maybe that's why he doesn't like drugs. He's like, I've already got it figured out, so like, why would I?
Why would I do anything else?
Right, like, I'm already just fucking drowning in it, so like, what's the point?
Yeah. I think it's putting a strain on his relationship with his family, though.
I didn't realize he had a family. I thought they stopped talking to him months ago.
That's what I meant by strain. I wasn't going to out him about it, but yeah. It's been a while since he's seen his dad. Fucking, I called Mama when we were at the bonfire because
Oh, yeah.
her fucking other kid, who I just won't name because I don't want to give him attention, but like, he kept fucking calling
Nolan.
the N-word on his birthday, and like, it just called him a retard, like, used a bunch of big words to just describe how stupid this man is, and so I called him Mama! I was like, hey, kind of worried about your kid. Like, she's like, nah, it's okay. We raised a bad one. We know. We really dropped the ball on them.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Fucking no one was telling me the story where back when he was living in the fucking basement. This was after we finally got the mold cleaned up because there was just so fucking much in his room that he was inhaling. And, like, he started coughing up blood.
Black mold all over the walls.
So we got this cleaned up, and he was telling me this story of when he would just, like, sleep in bed, and sometimes his fucking cats would go into his room and start fucking pissing on his GameCube controllers.
Yeah.
And he would just start licking it up.
I mean, you gotta clean it up somehow.
But, like, lick it up?
It's
Nolan.
So, like, how else do you expect him to do it? I know that sometimes I'd hear stories about how he would just peel sheets of mold off the wall and just use it like a blanket when he was doing laundry. Like, he'd just roll over.
Well, because he only had one
time.
blanket, and he would only wash it once a month, and he had to run the washer 10 times.
Yeah, because, I mean,
Clean it.
it was just, like...
It was turning black.
It was just, there was so much cum on it, it was just like a fucking, like, plywood board at that point.
And then he
You had
started,
to crack
so, like,
it to get it in the fucking
because
washer.
of the fucking common shit mixing with the mold, he was growing fungi, and he was just fucking selling it like magic mushrooms. I think he got a lot of people sick.
Well, I got sick plenty of times just from knowing.
No one.
And so, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It might not have been the mushrooms. It might just been...
No. Just being around him?
Yeah.
Just the smell. He's a smelly boy.
Yeah.
Fucking, he had a zit on his back, and he was like, he couldn't reach it, so he asked me to pop it for him when I was living with him. I popped it, and it was purple. Like, fucking just purple.
And a rat came out.
Like fetus of a rat came out.
I think a rat laid eggs. It was the most fucked up thing I ever saw.
He looked like Gizmo in Gremlins 2 and they pour water on him, they get spores on their back
Yeah.
and Gremlins pop out. Yeah.
Nolan
Just does that.
Actually, we figured out how to solve that. We started putting, like, fucking grease into his pores so that, like...
They're clogged.
Yeah, we clogged all of his pores so that pimples couldn't form.
Yeah.
so the baby rats couldn't get any water, so they dehydrated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then dude, so now when he goes down water slides, because of all the oil on his back, he fucking slides so fast.
He's going down fucking the black hole at Wild Wild West at like 90 miles an hour, just fast as shit.
The
Breaks
man's
through the end of it every time. They have to rebuild the slide every time he uses it.
dude, it's fucking actually insane.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I'm gonna pause this for a sec.
There you go. Problem solved.
How did that... Is it recording?
Yeah, it is recording.
Okay. Wow, that's fucking weird.
I ain't even...
What were we-
I ain't never used this.
Was I in the middle of a story? Okay, so
The
yeah, I
bit
was
where
in the
we
middle of a
describe
story. So fucking... It was fucking... Who was he hanging out? I think this was the ex that's in the fucking mental place in Yankton
Yeah.
for behavioral issues. This is when he was dating her. I won't say her name because I'm legally obligated not to. But, so we were hanging out with her, and she was, like, fucking telling that he needs to, like, either move out or get the mold taken care of. And he was like, I kind of just like it, though. Like, the aesthetic of it's pretty nice. It's like having...
Homey.
It's like having vines on the side of your house.
Right.
He's like, he liked that it was green. And he was like, so this is green, it's got chlorophyll, so it cleans the air. So I can smoke all of these fucking, like, wax. He would burn envelopes so that the fucking glue on it, like, fumed. And he would just get high off of that. And he was like, well, the mold, since it's green, has chlorophyll, so it absorbs the fucking carbon from burning envelopes.
I stole all of my old Lego magazines, and he's just back there just peeling the glue out of them, just going off. Like, it's crazy. I wanted those still.
He's been getting really into Beyblades. He likes to fucking, put them together, mix and match them and shit, and then whenever they start, like, breaking, he'll fucking, like, rip apart envelopes with the shredded metal, and he'll just fucking smoke, like, little metal shards and envelope glue wrapped up in the paper of the envelope. And, like, because it's got paint on the metal, I think is why he does it. He's trying to, like, get the fumes from the paint off of his broken Beyblades.
Right.
And just, like, stick it together with envelope glue.
I've seen him just, like, throw rusty metal in his mouth and just chew it down like a madman.
Yeah, which doesn't even make sense. It's literally just fucking dirt and oxidized metal.
And the man sleeps with a fucking mold blanket. What can I say?
I've been trying to fucking help him out, like life coaching him almost.
Right.
Because he keeps fucking spending all of his money on just Japanese shoes. He like imports like they're obviously like some guy just put a fucking anime picture on shoes.
And they're always too tiny. They're always like 3 sizes too small.
Yeah,
It's like,
he keeps
damn.
like crying about how big his feet are.
Yeah.
He's like, Nolan, those are fucking children's sizes. Size 3 and 12-year-olds.
Yeah. Get rid of the Asuka shoes. Just go to Walmart, buy some Crocs.
Yeah,
It'll be
well,
fine.
like, it'd be fine if he wanted fucking, like, the Evangelion shoes. But, like, he's paying $6,000 for a kid's pair of shoes that someone spent 5 minutes making. You just make his own. There's got to be a website where you can make your own shoes for, like, $60. He's dropping $6,000.
And he does this like every week. I don't even. Where does he get the money?
Well, he hasn't been working.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm
come on.
quitting my job. I'm a YouTuber now. It's like, well, Nolan, when do you work on YouTube? He's like, I'm getting to it. And then he just sits there and watches fucking Initial D.
Over and
over. He's
again.
seen it 6 times. Like, Nolan, how many times can you watch the same race?
And he only watches the live action movie. He hates the anime.
Well, here's the thing, right? He keeps fucking rewatching it because he forgets what happens.
Yeah.
Because he's got fucking holes in his brain from all the screws he used to eat.
All the jinkum he's huffing.
Yeah. Fucking saddest thing I ever saw. I've never watched a man rot, but that him.
About the whole money thing, I didn't want to say it, but he's not in the room now, so I don't really feel obligated to keep it a secret. He told me that, he just every week he goes into the mailbox and he finds these checks addressed to his grandma, and then he just takes them.
Oh my god.
Wow.
So, like, those are, like, fucking welfare checks, right? Because she can't work anymore.
Well, I think they're Social Security and
That's what I was
retirement
gonna
checks. Yeah.
And he just fucking takes them and buys shitty anime shoes.
Yeah.
And he's been trying to build the fucking Death Star Lego set, but, like, he keeps putting the pieces on wrong because he's colorblind.
He's been at it for like 12 years.
Well, his cataracts are getting to the point where everything's white.
Yeah.
Like, he can still see light through them.
Right. But I mean, I haven't seen Nolan's true eyes in a long time,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh my god. Fuck, dude. So, we were playing fucking Cuphead in his basement for a while, and he went to make popcorn, but, like, when he got up, there was just, like, one nut over his boxers. And I didn't really comprehend it. Like, where was his dick? Why was his nut just hanging over his boxers?
Right.
Not through the dick hole, not through the leg
Oh,
hole.
like it stretched all the way
over the fucking boxers.
But the other one was still in?
I think. That or he didn't have another one.
You think Dan does steroids?
No, those nuts were fat. They were purple and fat. And steroids shrink your nuts, right?
Yeah.
Is that true?
I'm pretty sure
Yes.
that's...
It is.
Because it's not most of it is like testosterone boosters, and your balls make testosterone.
Yeah, so they're like, we're useless.
Yeah, but anyways, Dan's got like some juicy fat nuts.
Yeah.
They just look ripe.
They're like the size of fucking basketballs.
Yeah, I
Here's
don't know
the
how
thing.
he sits down
On them.
on them.
Why do you
God.
think he's comfy all the time?
Well, that's why there's fucking 2 dents on his couch. He fucking just started punching his couch to make indents for his balls to sit.
Yeah, and his futon keeps breaking. He keeps blaming everyone else, but we all know
But it's literally
because of
just because of
balls.
his nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they're just too
Well,
heavy.
have you felt them?
No.
Like, they're
Hard as
I wouldn't
stone.
touch him.
they're like,
Jagged.
you can fit them in your hand, like one of them.
Right.
And so you think, oh, okay, well, it can't be that much. But 30% of his body weight is his nuts.
Wow.
So, like, what's he weigh? Fucking 100 pounds, probably?
No, I'd say probably like 80.
80? So, yeah, about fucking 30, a little bit less than 30 pounds. And, like, they're just nuts. Each one weighs
Yeah.
30 pounds.
Do you think they're useful anymore, or like what's in there?
I'm scared that he hasn't been able to come. Like, he's fucking
Do
from
you
not
think that's
cleaning.
why he's saving everyone else's cum? He's
Well, I
using
think
it
he's
as his
clogged.
own?
I think his fucking cane got so, like, fermented inside his balls that, like, it's fucking just shut his urethra. nothing can come out anymore.
Damn. No wonder
And
he
so
just
every
spills piss out his mouth every now and then.
he orgasms, his balls get a little bit bigger.
It sounds like an air pump is going inside of his body, and you just see it go and just inflate a little bit.
It is fucking insane.
A favorite story to hear from his parents is like when they had to teach him how toilets worked. So they would come downstairs and Dan would be cutting a hole in the wall and peeing into it.
Yeah, there were so many holes in his wall. He never used the same one. It had to be a new hole every single time.
Fucking. So here's the biggest thing, right? He fucking. So I don't remember how we got this out of him once, but like we were talking about how we jerk off, and he said he jerks off straight into the toilet while sitting down.
Yeah, that one. I don't get it.
How does he do it?
How does
I've
he
asked
fit
him
his
numerous
dick?
times.
How does he fit his dick? Because he sits on the toilet.
And think about how fat his nuts are.
Yeah.
Right. So
How does he get his dick down?
Do you think he puts his nuts up on his thighs and then he goes like over?
But then how do you jerk off? How do you get your fucking hands? Oh, he gives himself a ball job every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, his mom was telling me about how she walked in once and like she couldn't describe it to me because I tried to ask her because she was like fucking like, oh my god, one time. Because I was talking about, like, how I've never seen him jerk off.
Right.
Because, like, I was like, I lived with him for a while, and I never saw him jerk off. She was like, oh, well,
that's
he does
weird,
it.
you know?
She was like, he does it in the bathroom. I walked in once, and then she started crying. And I couldn't get anything else
she
out
walked
of her.
in, and he looked like the Babadook when he's just standing in the corner.
No blade.
He was on top of the wall.
Yeah, and he was just... and then, like, everything just started vibrating, and she was like, I'm gonna go now.
Yeah.
Time to listen to Lil Peep and watch skate videos.
I'm starting to think that that's the story he didn't want her to tell. Why he wouldn't let me interview her.
Why
Probably.
he's afraid.
I'm sure that whole podcast would have just turned into an intervention. So, like, you know,
Well, like, we had episode 1 and 2, and we tried to have an intervention. Like, we were trying to make him reflect on himself and, like, really change his life for the better. But, like, he doesn't remember the podcast already. It's only been 3 weeks, and it's just gone from his memory.
Well, I bet if we asked him how he felt about the difference between preferences and sexualities,
we'd have
the same conversation that I heard from the last one, and he would probably run himself in a circle.
That podcast
again.
wasn't able to be aired.
I know. And I'm still going to reference it.
I couldn't edit it because we were talking about Super Straight, and oh my god, he was talking about how trans people just shouldn't have rights. And
I think his specific words were, ew, fuck them.
And he was like, little nematodes.
And he was like, Sean, a lot of people don't want to date trans people. I don't want to date trans people. They're fucking gross. And I was like, Nolan, that's just not okay. You can't think like that, dude. It's just not fair to them.
And then he also tried to tell me that red pilled meant you didn't have sex with fat women.
I thought it just meant you only took Dayquil.
Yeah.
It's a really good joke. They're not even red, they're orange.
I don't care.
I've never had Dayquil. I've only taken NyQuil because people are like, oh, it gets you high.
It just makes you sleepy. It don't really get you high.
Dude, that shit's so nice.
I mean, I like naps too, yeah.
It's not naps, it's like the abyss.
Well, I'm fine with that because I wake up and I feel fine usually, so.
That's fair. I fucking, so Nolan taught me this because I didn't know this. I never knew that, fucking mouthwash has alcohol. So you would drink, like, fucking 3 bottles of it.
Yeah, every time we'd go to Total Drag, we'd get a ticket because it would just litter mouthwash bottles everywhere. And like, what the fuck, dude? Like, come on.
Yeah, he'd take the cap off of it, pour himself a shot, take a swig, and then just toss the cap out.
Yeah, just chug the rest of it. Like,
yeah.
Like, your breath smells better now, but come on.
He would also yell skull every time, like, fucking Vikings.
Yeah.
And then he would, like, turn the bottle so it makes a vortex so that it went down faster.
Well, yeah, I mean, we all know it's just got an open gullet. Like, there ain't nothing stopping it now.
And, like, the fucking pharmacy next to his new house, Walgreens he lives next to, won't sell him fucking mouthwash anymore.
Good on them.
Yeah, and he won't drink alcohol because he's like, I'm going to get addicted.
Right.
But,
well, you can't get addicted to mouthwash.
No one.
It's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's got the
Or
same...
cum.
Or cum.
He's got the same thing with heroin. He's like, see, here's the thing. I'm not smoking it, so I won't get addicted.
Right.
Because the thing that gets you addicted is the smoke.
Yeah.
Because your lungs get the smoke in it, and then they can't breathe regular air anymore. So you just feel compelled to smoke more. And I was like, that's not how that works.
Nolan.
That's not making any sense. And he started having an episode. And I had to leave. He kicked us out.
He started crawling up the walls, squealing.
I mean, he was on heroin during that conversation. So.
He keeps fucking inviting us over, and then like halfway through the night, he'll forget we're there, and he'll freak out.
Start cutting holes in the walls.
Yeah.
Peeing in.
Also, okay, did you guys see the hole he put in his wall the other day? There's a fucking spider nest in there, and he keeps feeding them chicken legs.
Just whole chicken
legs? Whole chicken legs!
Wow.
It's like, that's not even what spiders eat.
Here's the thing, it's gone though! They're eating it! Or there's rats!
Or someone else is in the walls.
Oh, God.
Good thing Nolan hasn't figured out he's of legal age to buy a gun yet, huh?
Well, he's scared to have a gun.
Because he'll get addicted to the bullets.
Yeah. He was telling me about his fear of shooting himself and getting addicted to it.
Right.
And then he was telling me his theory where he's gonna start with low caliber bullets and work his way up until he's immune to all caliber of shots.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun when we have to take
Nolan
to the hospital for blowing his leg off with birdshot, huh?
Yeah. The fucking ER won't treat him anymore.
Oh. Huh. Well, where are we gonna take him then?
Well, he keeps fucking putting...
Probably just a ditch.
No, to the vet.
The vet. We'll fucking staple dog ears to him.
Staple dog ears to the top of his head.
Yeah. You guys see fucking, he tried to put a piercing in his ear. He wanted to get fucking industrial.
Mm.
And so he drilled it, and he was like, shit.
He drilled it, wow.
Yeah, he fucking took a drill bit through his ear. And then he was fucking, I'm doing hand, trying to show it, but I'm just going to explain it. You guys can imagine what I'm doing. And so, he put the industrial, which is the top of your ear, and he drilled it. And he was like, shit, I don't really like where it was. So he drilled another fucking one slightly above. And because of the way he drilled it... No, it's not a big hole. Because the way he drilled it, there wasn't enough skin. So then it got fucking caught on his shirt once. And just fucking ripped the top half of his ear off.
That's awesome. He's going to look like an elf soon.
And, so every time he starts getting mad, I'll punch him in the ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no protection.
Right.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but on the other ear, he did the same thing. But I think he didn't realize he was in too deep, and then the drill bit just went into his skull.
Jeez. Yeah, I was wondering what that hole in the back of his head was, but I kind of just figured
it's neat because you can see his heartbeat through it.
Well, he was showing me this bit with it, and so I thought it was a prosthetic or something fake, because he'll take a USB and plug it in.
That's awesome.
And he'll start making fake, noises.
We should just actually replace
Nolan.
his brain with a computer, and then we can just put USBs in
it
there.
wouldn't be hard.
No,
the financial
sure
burden we're all going through would change. He would stop begging for money.
Right. So we could use him to actually, probably buy and sell stocks better than any of us could, because he'd know everything.
Yeah. Well, he fucking put all his money into Roblox.
I mean, yeah.
Not the stock,
Oh,
though.
just the game.
No, he kept buying fucking Robux. And he's like, one day it's going to be worth $1 million. And I said, no, you can't sell that currency.
It's not even cryptocurrency. It's an in-game.
He's like, I'll sell my account. And I was like, no. No one's going to buy that.
No one's going to buy that for $2 million.
Nolan.
You spent $5 on a Roblox card.
It was fucking insane. He keeps playing the server where, it's a bunch of fucking guys. And they're, pretending like they're gonna hack the fucking White House. They're like, I'm gonna hack the mainframe. And I'm like, fuck.
Nolan.
Why are you fucking playing Roblox with these guys?
Well, he does have a hole in his head and do heroin.
Well, and so they have a Discord, and he fucking grooms, all the kids from other servers.
Yeah.
He's kind of turning them into an army.
I remember one time, I was, just, chilling on my computer playing games, and then I get a message from
Nolan!
And it's it just says, ha 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 ha, and then a link. And I won't say what was on that link, but I had to scrub my my hard drive after that one.
Fucking Nolan. His brother was telling me a story of when he and him... He didn't say why they had to do it, but when they were switching computers, because
Nolan.
he built a new computer, he was like, yeah, we had to burn my old fucking hard drive to make sure it couldn't be reused. I was like, the fuck did you have on it,
Nolan.
And he just started giggling.
The thing about
Nolan
Dan and his brother is that they took baths together
Every
up until
day.
they were 16 years old.
Yeah,
And the only reason they stopped was because
Liam
he got kicked out.
Yeah,
He fucking burnt down the kitchen trying to cook up.
trying to start a garden.
Yeah, so like he planted fucking these little, like, I think he thought they were. I don't think he understood how tomato plants worked. So he fucking planted them under the sink, and they grew up through the pipes.
burst all the pipes in the kitchen.
Bursted all the pipes in the kitchen. And so he was like, shit, there's so much water. And he didn't want his mom and dad to get mad. So he turned on the stove so that it would all evaporate. But then he fucking left because he wanted to go play Minecraft with Adam.
Well, last time I heard this story, I thought it was he threw towels all over the floor and then put them in the oven to dry off.
To dry.
Yeah, because I think
I
that's...
thought it was to evaporate the water, but that might be it.
I mean, knowing them, it could be any combination of the two, or
Yeah.
like
See-
anything with fire, probably.
See, from what I heard, he bought a super bright UV light,
Yeah,
but
because
he didn't realize which end was the bulb, and so he set it face down on the counter and turned it on, and that's what started the fire.
So I don't know what the fuck this was also, but he was showing me this thing he got once he started like planting in his closet instead of the kitchen.
Yeah.
And he had this fucking no, never mind. It was first it was in the closet, but then he had too many plants, so he moved him into the guest bedroom in the basement with all the couches or with all the fucking mattresses with piss on them.
Right.
And why do they? So they have fucking 5 piss mattresses in that room.
I mean, he just keeps pissing on them, so like, I guess
Either
you gotta
way.
keep buying them.
Like, there's no bed springs either. They just keep buying new mattresses. Either way, I digress. He had a bunch of plants in this room, and he got this fucking, like, it looked like a concert light system. And he was like, oh, yeah, see, this has AB lights, AC lights, like, just different combinations of letters and numbers. And he was
Right.
like, they all give it different, like, amounts of colored light so that they grow at the maximum speed. And it was the craziest fucking shit I ever saw. I don't know if that's a real thing or not.
It's like a rave room, but for plants.
I don't know if someone fucking lied to him and just sold him a rave light.
And probably.
Because there's no way that's real, right?
I don't know.
Does green light and red light grow plants differently?
No?
I'm not a plant guy. I don't know.
would
I do
imagine
think
no.
it's weird how in his bedroom,
Nolan!
brother has like a collection of really expensive wedding rings, and whenever you
Yeah.
ask where they came from, he just like goes deadpan and starts laughing in the back of his throat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he won't say. You
It's like-
can't get a word out of him after you ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just kind of shuts down, and you have to go home after that.
Fucking remember
Yeah.
last 4th of July he made ice cream out of soda?
Grossest shit I have ever seen.
Well, he was like, I'm like, it's not ice cream anymore if you're not using milk, right?
Right.
It's fucking
a
like
slushy.
sherbet.
Yeah, that works too.
Walkie slush.
Walkie slush. He kept calling it electric boogaloo, and I'm like, you can't say that.
That's our word.
Fucking. Also, so like, he hasn't cut his hair ever. Like, literally not a day in his life.
Yeah.
But it just keeps falling out before it gets too long. So
Well, that's why
it's
he's not
plateaued
cutting
to
it.
like right here.
Yeah.
But like, the fucking health of his hair is like those fucking straw brooms.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it looks like he has on his head.
But after it's been used for like probably like 70
Yeah,
years
it's
at
just
least.
black.
Yeah, black and like there's barely
But his
anything
natural
left.
hair color is blonde.
Right.
But it's like all frayed and shit.
Yeah,
I could knit like an old rug out of it, I bet.
probably could. You know, the first time I saw him, I thought he was like one of those white people trying to imitate a black person. But then I realized that's just his hair just naturally dreads up because
Yeah.
he's so filthy.
Yeah, it's not on purpose. He just doesn't understand.
Well, you guys have met his friend Adam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like he was telling me about the first time he met Adam. And so Adam is African American. And he was like, yeah, so he was hanging out with my other buddy, Carter, and I saw them talking, and he made a yo mama joke. And so I thought I was going to have to defend my friend, so I grabbed a roll of quarters from my bag, put him in my fist, and I was about to knock him out by punching him in the temple with this roll of quarters.
Right.
And then Carter laughed, so I realized it wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? How are they best friends now?
I mean, well, I imagine since
Nolan
just always kept a roll of quarters on him, there was probably not like consensual friendship.
Well, this was
Friendship
Leo
going on.
that had the
Oh.
orders on him.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
is Nolan a friend with Adam? I don't know if they talk at all.
I mean, I'd say by association, maybe.
Adam's strange. He's
Yes.
African American, but that's the reason they hang out. He's African American, but he's racist.
Yeah.
He hates all black people.
Yeah, because he's
And so him
also
and Dylan-
part Japanese and Jewish, but
Yeah. And so, like, him and Dylan are always just fucking being racist.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest group dynamic I ever saw.
I mean,
Because then Carter shows up. He's like, I can't eat strawberries because of my religion. And he's Christian.
Isn't it weird how out of the three of them, Carter was
The most normal.
that
It's fucking
was
wild.
like not even a joke.
I literally don't understand that.
It's like, okay, when I met Carter
It's
in
true,
theater, before I met Dylan or Adam, I was like, oh my god, this guy's a freak.
Yeah, and then
He's
you meet
fucking
Dylan and Adam,
insane.
and you're like, what? How does it get any worse than this?
Yeah, and he's fucking going to business school right now. I'm scared for him to become a politician.
Said
He-
he wants to.
He's
Yeah.
going to. Like, man is slippery as shit.
He's always greased up.
Yeah. I'm terrified to see what happens if he becomes mayor. He's fucking running next year.
I think.
At the age
Sliding.
of 24.
I think.
I didn't even know that was legal.
Yeah. I think one of the first things he plans to do is try to invade Africa.
Which we
from
can't-
here.
Which we can't do as a state.
Well,
He's like,
I don't think that matters to him. I think he sees a free Africa, and I think that offends him personally.
Probably.
he's trying to fucking get a militia right now.
Well, yeah, that's what he was doing all of high school. That's why he was in the library all day,
Yeah.
trying to radicalize people with his flip phone.
Yeah.
I mean, you pull that bad boy out, and there's no way you don't draw a crowd.
Remember when he did blackface?
Yeah,
He showed up
I
with a
forgot he
crowbar.
actually did that.
Yeah. He fucking showed up with a crowbar in his backpack. And he was like, what? Like, when he got kicked out and suspended, he was like, what'd I do?
Yeah.
It's like, Carter, can't do
It's a
that.
pretty simple concept, but not for him.
I don't even get it. Why are there so many scandals about people doing blackface? I don't get it.
Are you asking why does it occur, or
Yes,
why do we care?
people do it?
Oh, okay.
I don't get it.
I was like, if the question is why do we care, it's pretty simple. But the question of why they do it, I couldn't tell you. Well, let's get Robert Downey Jr. on the podcast, and we'll ask him about Tropic Thunder.
Man, he did do blackface, I forgot.
Yeah, and people just didn't really care.
Was
I
that
mean, they still
post
don't.
Iron Man or
That was before Iron Man.
before
I
Iron Man?
thought they came out the same year.
Same
Did they
year.
really?
Yeah,
That
they
rocks.
both came out 2008.
Yeah, that makes sense, because if it happened before, he would not have been Iron Man.
Well, yeah.
He was filming them at the same time every now and then. He showed up on the Iron Man set, and they
Well,
were like,
actually,
"What? This isn't."
If you watch the scene, so in the scene, where they cut to in the suit and it's really dark, that scene was actually improvised because Robert Downey Jr. showed up in blackface and he refused to take it off. So they were like, "Fuck, I guess we'll film you in the suit and turn the color down really
Right.
fucking far so that they can't tell you're wearing blackface." Because it wasn't super he wasn't being funny about it. He was trying to make it subtle.
yeah,
He was trying to make it to where if he was in
as subtle
public,
as a white man doing blackface could be.
well, it was almost like he was trying to do a Jersey tan, but then a little further so that some people would mistake him as black.
a Jersey burn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I'm sorry, but it really is wild that I just looked it up. It's wild that Tropic Thunder and Iron Man did actually come out in the same year.
Wow, I was right.
Yeah,
I
you
was
were actually right.
bullshitting.
Yeah, no, you're right, Sean. And I expected that Tropic Thunder came out before 2008. I've never actually seen it because I do not give a fuck. But Robert Downey Jr. did blackface in 2008.
Yeah.
And he's still an actor now.
What is that fucking video where he's screaming? What
Oh,
is that?
the really famous meme when he was going like this, and then is that the one you're talking
He
about?
just starts going.
Yeah, I don't
Really
know what that
good.
is. I never saw the original.
All I've
video, I
seen
don't
is
think.
the fucking one Nolan always shows us, where it's like a hamster, and then it's Robert Downey Jr. screaming because he's scared of the hamster.
Yeah.
It's a good one. He also really likes to send bass to James. I like that.
That's a great one.
And, for anyone that hasn't seen it, it's fucking a clip from what would that be? Which one had May in it?
I don't care. Shit, I don't know.
That would have to have been Emerald Joda, whatever the Joda reason was. And either way, it's Jesse, James, May, and Ash. And then Jesse's like, with her feminine prowess, we can fuck them up. She's like, yeah, I'd like to fuck Ash down a peg. And then it's James, and he's like, hey, I'm James, and I suck fat dick.
And he says, let's send these blasted women back to the Dark Ages.
Where they belong.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and then it cuts to base James.
This is really random, kind of going back to the Robert Downey Jr. thing. Did you guys watch the video of Anthony Mackie saying, make daddy a sandwich?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? How did he say that and nobody has, like, canceled him yet? Like, he literally was on a talk show and talked for a solid, 15 minutes about how women have the role of making him sandwiches, and in turn he beats up other men for them.
That's pretty awesome.
And we're still going to be like, aw, yeah, Anthony Mackie in the new Marvel movies.
What'd you do with Anthony Fantano?
Just if?
Like he said that. Like,
Oh.
he was like, man.
I was like, I watch Anthony Fantano.
He's like, man, all women are good for is cooking my TV dinners, and then I make YouTube videos for them.
Didn't he, basically do that?
Yeah.
Wasn't he, a anti-SJW back in
Anthony
the day?
Fantano?
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't really know about past him, but I don't think he's...
You know future him? You know where he's going?
Yeah, I'm actually Looper in real life. I've been to the future. I'm just waiting for future me to come
How's
back.
the year 3000?
The Jonas Brothers are still around.
Not much has changed, but they live underwater, I guess.
Fucking filled his bathtub with water.
What an idiot.
Well, no, he put goldfish crackers in them.
Well, you wanted to let him swim around?
And then he'd fall asleep in the bathtub, so it just became this fucking
Mush.
cheesy water mush.
Yeah. I mean, that probably smells... Well, that's probably why it smells the way he is, I guess.
Yeah, that's actually why James is the one who lives with him, is because James can't smell. And anyone else...
That
would not
makes a
live
lot
with
of sense.
Nolan!
He's really insecure about it, because every time James says he can't smell, he starts freaking out. He's like, I don't believe you. You can smell. And he keeps trying to prove that James can smell so that, because he's so scared that James can actually smell him.
Yeah.
Well, judging by last night, he just doesn't believe it. I mean, he almost screamed at James.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
he was getting upset because James was like, I want to get a candle for the house. Which, I'm honestly kind of sus about this, too.
Yeah.
Ever since I met the man, all I've known about him is he can't smell, and he's a pedophile, and he's a piece of shit. And he was like, I want to get some fucking candles for the house. And
Nolan!
he started screaming. He's like, oh, okay, mister, I can't smell. I can't fucking smell, huh? And then he fucking stuck his finger in his ass and put it under his nose to see if he would react. And he obviously fucking freaked out because there was shit on his face.
Right.
He's like, you can smell! And he started hitting him with a fucking table. The fucking wooden leg from it.
Yeah.
Because he fucking smashed his table the night before because he couldn't fucking... He's trying to beat a high score on Mario and Sonic go to the Olympics, Tokyo 2020. And he got so mad that he couldn't beat the fucking hurdle high score that he fucking smashed his table.
Okay, so I have a question that's not related to this at all.
Got it.
Sounds good.
Why is it that every time I see a new super awesome looking car, it's always a young blonde girl driving it? Every single time I see a nice car, it's always a white girl. I don't get it.
Yesterday, when we were on our way to Dan's, there was somebody next to us in, a brand new Hellcat, and I was, staring it down the whole time. Because I was like, man, what a cool car. And then right as they passed, the sun shined through their dark-ass windows just enough for me to see, a 23-year-old, blonde girl. And I was like, not what I expected, but good for you.
They're everywhere.
But there's also a girl around town who owns a brand new Honda Civic Type R.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's super cool. But yeah,
Where do they get this kind of money?
I don't know.
They're my age, driving a fucking Hellcat.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
Why can't I do that?
To be fair, I want to get a Hellcat soon.
I mean, yeah, we all want a Hellcat.
But,
imagine if we all had Hellcats.
Oh, dude, if we all had Hellcats, we would not have Hellcats.
I was going to say, we'd lose them so quick.
I wouldn't. I would drive completely safe.
I would for the most part, but every now and then, I mean, I'm driving a Hellcat, so like I'm gonna drive a Hellcat like you drive.
I imagine he would race us, but in the same way he races us when we play Mario Kart.
No, I take it. I wouldn't get it up past 30 miles an hour.
Even on the interstate?
Ever.
Like, would you take it on the interstate and not go 30, or will you only stay on like main
Isn't the
roads
minimum
and,
40?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
What
minimum
happens
40.
if you...
not if you just don't go 40.
Yeah, but Sean, you'll get just as many tickets going 30 into 65 as you will going like.
Oh, and considering how high
90.
your insurance is going to be just from owning a Hellcat, imagine how high it's going to be getting tickets.
For going too slow.
Yeah. Would your insurance go up? You got
That's
a
a good
ticket for
question.
going too slow on the interstate? Because it's still endangering people.
Yeah, so I imagine yes.
We got to get a white girl on the podcast to ask that.
Sam!
No,
Does Sam
she's
drive
not.
too slow? Is that a thing?
Yeah. She kind of do. Sam's not an awesome driver.
She's not cool like me.
Dude, I'm so cool when I drive. Man, I'm like swerving through traffic. Oh my god. I was going to save this for the podcast when we go to Sioux City. I was going to talk about like traffic and shit like that. Because I was like, oh, kind of topical, right? I'm just going to drive it right now. Fucking South Dakota drivers are the worst drivers ever, dude. Especially semi-trucks that go through here.
Oh, yeah.
I was fucking driving on the interstate, and there's a semi-truck in the passing lane. And I'm like, okay, well, he's going 60 in a 65 in the passing lane.
Right.
So I'm just going to go past him. And then when I'm halfway through, he just fucking looks at me and just turns into my lane and fucking throws me into the shoulder. And I fucking drive past him, and he just is fucking laughing. I'm like, how? How can you fucking do that legally?
Well, okay, Snook, have you ever been to
Oh, man.
Milwaukee?
Shit.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I've been through it.
that
That
was
is the
rough.
Yeah, that was the scariest driving experience
You're-
of my life.
You remember that single car accident that took up 4 lanes of the interstate and took us nearly like an hour and a half to get past?
Yeah, and that were we even in Wisconsin at that
I
point?
think we had just gotten into Wisconsin, like literally,
Yeah.
like just past the border,
That's-
and it had turned to like 5 lanes, and then 4 of them were closed.
yeah, driving on the highways there is fucking horrifying.
I
There's
was more
no rules.
I was more scared of driving like in residentials and shit than I was on the interstate, because on the interstate at least it's just go fast straight line. You could weave in and out at least. But like, do you remember when we were sitting at that intersection and we had a green light and people just kept turning
Yeah.
anyways? Like they just kept running the red and just turning in front of other people without like even acknowledging their surroundings.
Yeah,
What was going on there?
I think that's just how they drive.
You remember all the busted ass cop cars too? Like they were still driving like 93 Crown Victorias.
Yeah, fucking Hemi.
Yeah.
That
Good
rocks.
shit. Yeah.
Hey, so Sean, sorry how long we went, but do you want to tell your story that you wanted to tell from last night? You were really excited about whatever story that I was asleep for.
Oh, well, I mean, I've already told it to both
Did
of
you? Was that the story? That was the lamest motherfucking story.
The story about Sean not knowing if he slept?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I had like an out of body experience. I don't even have words to describe what happened.
Well, that's
Like-
what it does, yeah.
Like,
Up until what? It's fucking 6 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, that's probably when it stopped.
Oh, that's when it stopped. Okay. So you, from like 3 to 4, you were trying to sleep on my couch,
I was trying to sleep on. Yeah,
and Moist Critical was playing.
Moist Critical was playing. All the lights were off except for a disco ball that Snook had. It was spinning all around the room.
Did you really just leave it on last night?
Yeah, I was
All
on
night.
all night.
So I worked a 12-hour shift yesterday,
God
so
damn.
I was tired as a motherfucker. So it's about 3 in the morning,
Yeah.
and I eat some fungus because I thought that was the move.
Thought we were at Nolan's.
Yeah, I thought, goddamn, it's sitting here. I might as well.
Might as well.
So you're fucking up, just like your dreams are Moist Critical,
Yeah,
and you're having a fever dream.
it's like I kept seeing the same visions like over and over, and every time I would like kick back out of it, and I would come back to the world for a brief second, and nothing made sense, and everything was shifting because there was a fucking disco ball spinning around, confusing my brain.
That just sounds nauseating, if anything.
It was awful.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do that.
It was probably pretty rough, I assume.
And then I couldn't tell if Nick was asleep or not, but I kept, tilting my head up and looking at him. And he was sitting with his arms crossed.
Like he always does.
Laid out on the couch, and I couldn't tell if his eyes were closed or open.
Should just hit him.
And I'd be like, Nick, and then he wouldn't respond.
Well, probably.
I like to think he was just watching you.
Well, no, because he kept changing the video.
Yeah.
So he's just
Also,
choosing not to acknowledge.
Yeah, also, sometimes he would, wake me out of that by laughing. And I'd be like, oh my god, is he awake or asleep? I can't tell. Why is the world spinning?
That's great.
Okay. I will never leave the disco ball on all night again.
Learn your lesson.
I woke up at fucking 10, which is really late for me. I went upstairs, I showered, came back down, and everyone was gone.
Yeah.
I was like, Nick doesn't even have a car. How did he leave?
Yeah, I didn't even... Yeah, I guess he must have.
I think Sam
that's-
drove him, maybe.
Oh.
'Cause Sam also wasn't here. But, so then, what else? Oh, yeah, I like the story a lot. So then I was like, oh, shit, I need to get Sam Fiesta dip from Hy-Vee. And at this point, Sean called me while I was showering. I was like, why did you call me? I didn't. That conversation went on for a while of him asking why I called him what I wanted. And then, so I was like, I called him on my way to Hy-Vee. I was like, hey, Sean, when are you going to arrive? Because he was going to come over. I was like, I want to warn him that I'm going to be at Hy-Vee for a little bit. So then he was like, I'm at Hy-Vee. And I go, no way, I'm at Hy-Vee. So we had a Hy-Vee adventure.
That's great.
Which was me looking for Fiesta dip for a long time.
Long time. I encountered an MLM person there.
Major League
multi-level marketing.
Oh, yeah.
So I was just standing there looking at the energy drinks because obviously my sleep last night was very distorted and I'm tired as shit. And this guy just walks up and he's like, oh, so how long did you, no, he said what did you go to SDSU for? Because I have an SDSU shirt on. And I was like, what? And he's like, how long did you go there, or do you just repping the merch? And I was like, I don't know, I'm just wearing this, man.
It's
and
clothes,
this dude
what can I say?
he was casing me for information. He asked me where I worked, what I did at my work,
That's
and then
great.
he's just the least smooth thing I've ever seen in my life. He's like, so you ever thought about owning your own business? And I was like, no, not really, man.
Oh,
maybe.
I was about to say, you told me
like-
you said maybe, and then he walked away.
Yeah. Well, no, and the weird thing was, so within 15 seconds of him talking to me, he shook my hand. And then, when he mentioned the multi-level marketing thing, he also went to shake my hand again.
Just cause?
Yeah, and he's like, oh, that time, the second time that I shook his hand, while I was shaking his hand, he's like, oh, I noticed you were slow with the handshake. Are you one of those people who don't like touching people? And it's like, dude, I shook your hand twice and you're a random guy who approached me in a grocery store.
Yeah. Thank you for pointing out the awkwardness of the situation.
Yeah.
That's what I said to him when he was telling me that. I was like, that's fucking just something. I hate it when people do that where they're they try and notice little tells and point them out.
Nothing like that has happened to me yet, except for now that I'm 21 and we get to go out drinking and stuff. We're out pretty late on the weekends sometimes. And we go to the Gilbertos on Minnesota a lot. And a couple weeks ago we were there, and there are these two dudes standing behind us, definitely off of something. I don't know if they were just drunk and getting out of the bar, or if they were just on some bullshit right now. But he was just standing behind me and just wouldn't stop tapping me on the shoulder and being like, hey, buddy, you want to be friends? Just over and over and over again. And
Well, did
I was
you
just
say yes?
I was just ignoring him because I was literally trying to figure out what I wanted to order. I was currently drunk, and I was like, I'm worried about whether I want fries or not right now. Don't ask me to be your
Man,
friend.
you know what I miss so much?
Huh.
Sweet potato fries from Hy-Vee Market Grill.
Never had
Oh,
them.
What?
Wait, no, yes I did, because I totally forgot that Market Grill, like the restaurant, was actually a thing for a while.
Mm-hmm. And it was so good.
Yeah, that shit was banging.
Best shit I ever saw.
Can't believe we got rid of it. But yeah, and then after a while, he tapped me on the shoulder again, and I just turned around and went, "No, I don't. I want to eat." And then he was like, "Well, all right, well, fuck you, dude." And I was like, "Okay, I mean, that's fine. Like, why are you so angry?"
You should have had him buy you dinner first.
Ah, shit. Why didn't I think of that? I definitely should have been like, if you buy me my meal, I'll hang out with you tonight. But then I would have just gone home after that.
Yeah. Just shit-faced.
We saw a group of girls just throw up on their table at Gilberto's the other day. That was pretty funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was
Last night, I came up with a new funny.
great. Yeah.
I really liked it. Where, like, I kept trying to get Nick to suck Sean's dick and balls. And I was like, okay, Nick, truth or dare? And he said dare. And I was like, I dare you to suck Sean's balls or I'll throw up on you.
What a threat.
It's just the idea of like a truth or dare game, but it's just you're just threatening them.
Yeah.
Like, do this or I will do this to
Right.
you.
And then I was like, okay, Nick, truth, dare, or dare.
Wait, so hold on. When you asked him that, did you currently feel the need to throw
Oh my
up?
god, I was so sick.
Okay. So either way, even if he hadn't done it, you still, or if he had done it, you possibly still would have just thrown up on him.
Well, I would have avoided him.
Sure.
He was sucking Nick's dick or Sean's dick and balls.
You should have dared him to suck his own dick.
Oh, he'd do it. He'd fucking take his ribs off.
He'd bend his spine and probably kill himself.
I mean,
He'd impale himself with his ribs.
yeah. I've seen Nick do some wild shit before.
Yeah.
Man, fucking, I really liked it. I think it was episode 1 of the podcast where, like, we were just trying to, like, figure out what happened the night of the accident.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, yeah. Well, my face was bloody before that. And we were like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you on about?
Yeah.
Did he explain?
No.
Great. Great.
Like,
I never wanted to ask him because I was like, I don't know. Maybe he
it's
just doesn't want to
traumatic.
talk about it, yeah. But, like,
well, he talks about it and then laughs.
he talks about it so casually, and I can't tell what's true and what's not about it anymore.
It's all true.
All of it is true.
But, like,
Like
was
he
there
said-
a reason that it happened, or just, like,
Well, I don't want to air that on the pod.
fair
That's
enough?
fair.
Okay. Yeah.
Man, we gotta show Noah that video that broke me last night.
Oh my
Fucking
God.
broke me to pieces, man. Remember Amazing Bulk?
Yeah.
We watched Amazing Bulk at Dan's one time, which if you
Yeah.
haven't seen it, just go watch it. Fuck you. Sorry. And I actually
You'll
started
regret it.
crying
Yeah,
during
so-
the movie. Like, breaking down, uncontrollably sobbing.
Yeah.
And that happened again last night. But it wasn't a movie. It wasn't like a bit. It was a guy. It was a guy who went to a fucking musical.
Okay.
And he was on a date with this girl, and it was going okay, it seemed. She was clearly not comfortable,
Right.
in my opinion. She did not look like
on
she was having a
camera.
fun time. On camera.
Oh,
Because
wow.
he films everything he does.
See, that's kind of fair. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm not... Okay, listen. It gets worse. So the
Great.
night continues. At one point, what stood out to me a lot was, like, at one point, he just, like, started filming her tits. Because you could see her nipples in the dress she was wearing.
Nice.
So he just had the camera
Yeah,
pointed
that's
at this. And she was like, well, I noticed what the camera's aimed at.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, yeah, whatever. And they just didn't talk about it for a while. And then it, like, cuts to them sitting in the lobby talking for a while about
The
the
Book of Mormon.
the
that they
Book
just
of
watched.
Mormon
Okay.
that they
They
just
want-
watched.
Because he is a Mormon, the guy recording the video.
But, like, the conversation they were having was really weird. And it was like, what was the part where, like, she was like, do you want me, like, for half an hour or another hour and a half to discuss what we just saw?
Yeah, she wanted to get away from the date and like do it later
Right.
in quotation marks
Right.
because, well,
Everything.
you realize later in the video
Yeah.
because she has another date lined up that night.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, to be fair, if I were her and I were also at the Book of Mormon with this particular person filming me while we're on our date, I'd literally be sitting there like, right, let me see who I can just randomly match with and just head out of here
Well,
with.
it was, okay,
Who
here's
can
the
I
thing,
get a
right?
ride home
So,
from?
like, they were talking about a guy, and then, like, at one point, he was like, so something tells me you're going to go hang out with someone else, because you have other arrangements. and he like kept trying to push for who it was. He was like, "Do I know him?" and like stuff like that. And then, and he tried to do it like very like suave. He was trying to seem like sophisticated and everything he said. It was super fucking weird. And then like, it's them walking to the hotel room, and then it's like it's in text because I think he edits it.
Okay.
I think he edits it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was like, I then asked to use her bathroom, and he let me. She let me go there, and then he was filming the inside of her hotel room, and there was like naked pictures on the wall, like drawings, like art.
Yeah,
It's like art.
she draws them.
Yeah, and he was like kind of pointing them out and shit,
Yeah.
and then it like hard cuts to him, I think in the hotel room, like, well, she's gone or whatever. I guess I better just go home. And he's walking home and he sees her with the guy, and he's like, "Well, look who the mystery man is! I'm so glad I finally found out who it was.
Man.
Oh, and it's my friend from college. Oh, I'm so happy for you guys."
Well, to be fair, overall, he ruined the date for himself. Like, it's entirely his
and
fault.
then, no, but listen, he took it as a positive. When he was fucking leaving, he was like, "That's such a good end to this date. I'm so happy for them. I'm so glad we got to find out who it was, guys." Like a
mystery
vlogging.
closed.
Yeah.
That's
And it broke me.
weird.
If this video is like, what, 20 minutes long?
Yeah, I think it's like almost 30 minutes.
I feel like that would be an uncomfortable 30 minutes to watch. I don't
Dude,
think I
I
could do
was
it.
sobbing. I was fucking crying.
So yeah, this is the video I was talking about in that one podcast.
In the last one,
where
I think, right?
Yeah. No. Was it Mama's Day special?
No. Was it? Oh, yeah, it was. Sorry. It was Mama Day special.
It might, I don't know what it was, but
Yeah.
it was the one where I started having a panic attack and sweating and screaming no at nothing in the middle of a busy like street. That's the video. I showed them just so they could suffer with me.
Wow.
And it worked. I was fucking sobbing.
I mean, yeah, that video just sounds like torture just all around. Like, I don't...
Like, no one in it's having fun. No one out of it's having fun. It's cursed. It's a cursed video that should not exist.
And that's all he does. There's hundreds of videos just like that on his channel.
Like, they're all the same thing?
Yeah, it's him, because he's like a 40-year-old Mormon virgin who's saving himself for marriage.
Well, best of luck to him.
Yeah, and so the only people that he could find, basically, are people who are like, just want to hook up and go on with their days.
Yeah.
But he's trying to marry them, so it never goes right.
Right.
Because they're looking for separate things.
What a niche market he's in, like, looking for women.
Yeah.
Films everything. Mormon, 40-year-old virgin. Like, just so, yeah.
Man, it was the fucking craziest video I've ever seen.
You'd have to be really brave to go out on a date with somebody like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I was
that's
scared
a big
for
risk.
her.
Yeah.
I was so scared for her.
That's what I'm thinking.
What was like the top comment on it? It was like, it's like watching one of those fucking thrillers where like at any moment the crazy antagonist could just go stabby stab.
Right.
Yeah, that's the top
Like he just snaps at any time.
Yeah. And God, man, it was really funny. The guy in the car just didn't know what to do.
He looked so fucking uncomfortable. Because, like, he goes
Roll
up...
your windows.
He goes up...
He like stood out of his door.
Yeah, the guy got up out of the car to talk to him because they like knew each other from college. So like, there's like an expectation.
I would have been that courteous. I would have been like, "Hey, roll the window up."
No, and then he tells the guy. He's like, "Hey, sorry. She probably won't tell you this, but I tried to kiss her in the hotel elevator on the way up, but she didn't want it to."
And
He tells that to the
now she is going to tell that story, but it's going to be, this weird fucking dude just really wanted to kiss me in the elevator.
I think he was like, the day was going really well, and then I ruined it by trying to kiss her in the elevator.
Says that to the guy she's on a date with now.
While she's, like in the passenger seat?
No, she got out of the car because she didn't want to be on camera anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
So she was standing on the other side of the vehicle, not wanting to be seen by him anymore.
Yeah,
She was just fucking done with it. God, it gave me so much anxiety. I was fucking sobbing.
If I were her, I'd have that video taken down. I'd be like, no, this is not.
That was part 2. There's a part 3, and we can
All
watch
of the same
part.
girl?
Yeah.
Oh my god. What?
Yeah, so
That
He
all of
filmed-
that was
he films
two.
every in social interaction he has.
Right.
So he has the film of when they first met, and she's like hitting on him, and she basically says like, "Hey, if you want to hook up with me, I'll hook up with you tonight." But he's like, he doesn't pick up on the cues, and also even if he did, he
it's
would
not
say
for
no.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, he would just try and marry her.
He proposed instead.
Man,
Fucking guy.
it was. I don't even have words for the emotions I was feeling. Dread.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that would just
True
be a
dread.
tense series, like, all the way through.
Yeah.
Like,
It
just
put
from
me in
his
defensive
existence.
mode. Like, it put fucking like Bandit felt how like anxious I was and was defensive of me all night.
Yeah.
Like Nick got close to me, he would start growling at him because he felt just how fucking crushed I was.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn. I have nothing left to say. Thanks for watching Snonkcast episode 4.
See you
The
guys next
worst
time.
What's this?
No, it's the best. The worst bit we've ever done.